What's up, everybody? Today we're going to go over a full mobility and functional strength exercise workout, whatever you want to call it. Let's see. Let me get this straightened out real quick. All right, there we go. What's up, everybody? Today we're going to go over a full body workout. We're going to start with foam rolling and start our warm-up. Then get into our plyometric and then our strength training. So first start with the foam roller. We're going to put the roller underneath the calf. And we're going to roll from the ankle to the knee. We're going to go about 5 times on each leg. Switch. So we're just rolling the calves first, and then we're going to move up to the lower back. If you feel any areas of tension, you can hold and just breathe. But we're going to move to the lower back. From here, we're just going to hold in this position, in a supported bridge position. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. And then from here, I'm going to put one foot underneath the opposite knee. I should feel that pressure in the lower back. Breathe into that. And then switch sides. A couple inhales and a couple exhales. And then we're going to sit up and then place the roller on our mid back. Bring our elbows together. And then we're going to saw the roller from the upper back to the mid back. 5 rolls. Okay. Now we're going to get the lats. So I'm going to roll from the back of my upper arm to right on the side, upper ribs, chest area, and I can roll and kind of saw into that with my arms overhead here. And then switch side. This one you can roll up and down or side to side. All right, we'll move to the adductors and quads. Going from the inside knee to the hip. Going for 5 rolls each leg. Blade next to it should be parallel, and then you're going to lift your leg up. Hips bent about 90 degrees. Keep that knee straight. Toe down. Roll from the hip to the knee. Then from here, targeting the quads, right above the knees to the hips. Just focusing on your breathing. If you find an area of tension, just hold and try to breathe and relax. You can also do this one leg at a time. And when you're doing it one leg at a time, it's a good time to get the outside of the quad from the hip to the knee. So getting that IT band, which connects to the glutes, and also the TFL, which is right in the front of the hip. You can turn onto that. And then switching sides. About 5 rolls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then finding maybe one area of tension, holding for a couple inhales and exhales. Moving to the front of the hip, upper front area where the TFL is. And then maybe finding another position on the low quad there. So there's our foam rolling. Let's go ahead and get into our stretching. We're going to start off in the 90-90 position. So both knees 90. Your hips will make a 90-degree angle and your ankles are 90 degrees. We're going to face forward over the knee and hinge and breathe and hold. Inhale through the nose, exhale out the mouth. 3 inhales, 3 exhales. Soft inhale through the nose, long exhale out the mouth. And then from here, I'm going to bring this hand that is closest to my feet behind my back. I'm going to rotate my shoulders back. I'm going to feel my hip start to rotate into the femur or your thigh bone. I'm just going to rock forward by squeezing the glute and then relax the glute, sink back. And then hands are behind and just a couple of those rocks. And then if we can, we're going to reach for the foot and knee and hold with a straight spine. Couple inhales, couple exhales here. Good. Now we're going to go ahead and switch to the opposite side. Same thing, all 90 degrees, face forward over the knee. 3 inhales, 3 exhales. So we got about 10 more minutes of our warm up, and then we're going to get into our plyometric and strength training. So we're just breathing in this front hip here, and then we're going to rotate toward that back hip. We're going to rock forward and back. May even hear some spine pops. And then again, you're squeezing the glute. And then you're relaxing. Squeeze, and then relax. Then we're going to see if we can reach toward the back, foot and hip. Breathe and hold here. And then after that, we're going to perform the butterfly stretch. Bring the bottoms of the feet together, pulling the feet toward the hips, and we're going to turn this into an active isolated stretch or some regressive angular load. So what we're going to do is try to press those knees down actively. So you're doing this by externally rotating the hips, squeezing those hips and knees to the ground, and then relax. So about 5 to 10 seconds. These are called active isolated stretching. Okay, so we're going to press down again, hold onto those feet, nice strong arms here. Press, 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 press. And then relax, and then shake it out. All right, so we're gonna move to child pose position and start getting the upper body involved. So hands and knees, you're gonna sit down on the ankles. Elbows will straighten out front, thumbs are up. And then we're bring the bridge of the nose on the ground here if you can, or bring your head on a pillow. You can also sit on a pillow if this hurts your knees. 3 inhales, 3 exhales to start. Then from here, I'm going to press down with one hand and lift the other arm off the ground, and then switch. And then I'm gonna bend the elbows so they're kind of outside my knees. Make a fist, and then I'm gonna lift my fist off the ground while my forehead is down. I'm gonna hold for 5 to 10 seconds, and then repeat. Up, hold. And relax. Then one more. Now I'm gonna go down to my stomach. I'm gonna tee my arms out. I'll lift my arms up as high as they'll go, and then turn my palms toward the ceiling. From here, I'm gonna lift up as high as I can go. Look ahead about 2 feet, and then lift those palms up as high as they'll go as you bend the elbows. And see if you can do it without touching your back or your butt or your glutes. See if you can hover it off your lower back. And then relax everything, even your head. You can turn your head to the one side or the other. Bring your chin up and away from the shoulder. Try not to be shrunken in like this. So getting a little neck mobility and shoulder mobility. So then we want to then next lift those hands up the back as far as we can. Make a fist, lift the elbows up, and then press the fists into the back. Just creating that isometric contraction. And then relax. And then try to get the fists together if you can. And then relax those elbows toward the ground. And then lift the head up off the ground. You should feel more stretch in the shoulders when you do that. And then we're gonna press the fist into the low back or the mid back, wherever you're at, for 5 to 10 seconds. And then we're gonna try to lift up and hover off the low back. And then we're gonna extend those elbows when we do that. So we're gonna take an inhale, tense the body, try to lift the arms off, extend, and then rotate the palms so the thumbs are facing up. And then you're gonna reach overhead with the thumbs up. And then you're gonna open the palms and then bring the palms behind the head. All while keeping the elbows and shoulders off the ground. We're gonna then reach out overhead. Palms will now face up as you scoop the air all the way back behind the body. Bend the elbows. Try to get the hands up the back as you relax. And then create fists, lift the head off the ground, press the fists into the back, straighten the elbows, rotate, reach overhead, hands behind the head, and relax. Should feel all that in the upper back and shoulders. Be a good time to go into some cat-cow. So we're gonna round the back, tuck the chin. Breathe here. And then we're gonna articulate the spine the other way. First by tilting the hips forward. And head up. And then we'll bring the head down. And we'll squeeze the glutes. From here, bring those hips down. Head up. And from here, we're going to squeeze the glutes. And then tuck the chin. So here's a simple way to segment the spine with minimal cueing. So get in the hands and knees position. Round the back, tuck the chin. Look up. Drop your hips to the ground. Hold here. Breathe. Then from here, squeeze your glutes. Tuck your chin into your chest. Now, to get the adductors, we're gonna separate the knees as far as we can. We're gonna try to sit on those heels. We're just gonna rock back. Should feel a nice stretch. Here, you can also just bring the hands down and we can move side to side here, emphasizing one or the other adductor. And try to go with a vertical spine after that to progress the stretch. And to make this a long lever stretch, we're going to straighten out the knee. We're going to rock back, forward and back here. And 3 to 5 rocks each side. Okay, moving into downward dog. Hands are a little wider than shoulders, facing up and out. Knees are under the hips, feet behind the knees. And then we're gonna push into the ground, bring our knees off the ground, hips up, and try to make a triangle shape here. You can relax the head through the shoulders, and then we're gonna take some inhales and exhales over here. From here, we can sway the hips side to side. And then we can also pedal the heels up and down. And bring those feet together. Try to get those heels down. And then from here, we can lift one leg up, get more emphasis on that foot that's on the ground, and breathe, and then switch. Good. From here, you'll walk those hands to the feet. And then we're going to get into the squat position. We're going to try to get a vertical spine and hold in this position here. You're just sinking down in your hips, vertical spine. You bring your hands together, down on the ground. You can also be sitting on a box or a ball or pillows, whatever you need. And then from this position, We can rock side to side. We can also challenge our shoulder and thoracic strength here by bringing our hands behind our head, squeezing and extending the elbows, thumbs down, reach back, bend the elbows, back to the fists, pressing into the low back. And then we're going to extend those elbows, thumbs go up, reach for a Y, up to an I, and then hands behind the head here. From this position, we can bring the hands down and wrap it behind the foot. And then we can squeeze those knees together. You feel that open up the scapula here and internally rotate the shoulder. And then release. Let's get out of that position. Moving our way to seated position. Okay, now we're getting into our activation and then we'll get into our dynamic. So a little bit of glute raise here, toes up. We're going to extend the hips. What that means is we're going to squeeze the glutes and create this straight line from the shoulders to the knees with the toes up. Okay, you can put your hands on your glutes to feel them firing. Hold 10 seconds. I like strong exhales out the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Long exhale. And then we're going to go one-legged, pulling one knee to the chest, V'ing out the arms. Hold. And then switch. Go with a little bit dead bug here. Opposite arm, opposite leg. We'll extend to the ground. And then keeping the leg and arm that's up here nice and stiff. And then relax. Hands on the inside of the knees. Just open up the knees. Relax. And then you can windshield wiper the legs here. Okay, a little bit of hollow body rock. So we're going to bring the feet in front of the body. Point the toes, lift the legs off the ground. Feel that in your core. And then we're going to lift the upper back off the ground. In this boat position. You can lift it up as high as you can. Or you can bring it back down. And then if you want to turn this more into a harder core exercise, you can lay all the way back down with your arms overhead. And then you can rock. Like hollow body rock. All right. So now we're getting into our dynamic or our plyometric phase. So we're going to put some shoes on. these are the New Balance 880s Fresh Foam. Wife got them for me. They're great. They are on the PRI shoe list, and I do enjoy training in them. I was very surprised. I opened up the box and I told her that I was taking them back. The first thing I said. And then, lo and behold, actually a really good shoe. So these are the New Balance 880. Yeah, not a big fan of Brooks, but there's a lot of Brooks on the PRI list. So look up the PRI shoe list if you're looking for, oh yeah. All right, here we go. All right, so we're gonna spring into the dynamic warm-up. We're gonna start with the knee pull to the chest. We're gonna pull the knee into the chest, step with that same foot, and then pull the opposite leg into the chest, step, continue forward, and then think about that bottom foot pushing into the ground with the toe. Okay, so that's the high knee pull. A leg cradle. So same thing, but I'm going to open up the hip. Hand needs to be around the knee, over top of the ankle. Stand up tall and then pull into the chest. Okay, about 3 to 4 on each side. All right, now heel to butt with lean. I'm gonna reach for my ankle and then reach the opposite arm forward as I lean over. Then step with that same foot and then switch. So it's heel to butt with lean. I like exhales through my entire rep. All right. So we're gonna get into some lateral movements, some side steps. I'm gonna shuffle to the left, push off the right as I do that. And then when I push to the right, I'm using my left leg. If you can, you wanna try to get those arms moving with your body, okay? All right, now we're gonna perform the crossover step. So the crossover step, you take the outside leg, moving inward, cross over with a big. I'm gonna shift my front hip back, and then I'm going to push off this back, I'm gonna push off this front foot, and then as I do that, it's gonna give me the momentum to reach that left leg across. So feet are about a little wider than shoulder. I'm gonna lean and shift inside. As I do that, I'm pushing off the inside leg, and then I'm crossing over with the outside leg. The gaze is at the horizon or straight ahead, hips are back slightly. Cross over, side step, and then you're doing the same thing the other way, okay? So that's the crossover side step. Give you a different angle. Okay, so I'm shifting inside leg and pushing off. Create that horizontal or frontal force, okay? All right, so now what we're gonna do is take a quick break since we're using a lot of gas. Grab some water. All right. So we're going to tie our power into our strength. So we're going to perform a kettlebell swing for a hip dominant lower body power. And then we're going to go with an upper body push off the box. So upper body plyometric followed by a lateral bear crawl. Okay, so I'm going to set that up. So let's start with the kettlebell swing. Kettlebell swing is a great exercise for all athletes and people focusing on power. So what we're gonna do is stand behind the bell. Feet can be a little wider than the shoulders or as wide as the shoulders. You're gonna hinge back as you would deadlift. You're going to then, from this position, and with a straight back, we're going to rock it back. We're going to swing it back. It'll touch our glutes. Stand up for our first rep. We're only going to about below shoulder height for our swing. Our hip extension or our hip thrust is going to be what swings that bell. So we don't need to move our shoulders. When we get here, we stop for a second. And then we bring the bell down, and as we get to the knees, then we bend, hip hinge, hip thrust, hip hinge, hip thrust, okay? Five to 8. All right, so we'll do the off the box push up. You can go 3 to 5 reps for this. All right, so I said lateral bear crawl. That's actually a bad idea since I just did push-ups. So we're gonna do a straight leg sit up. Feet shoulder width apart. Lay on your back. Hand over hand. Then we sit up toward the ceiling. Let our legs straight. And then slowly come down. Sit up as fast as you can and go down as slow as you can, or at least more than a second. 5 to 8. Now, if you want to progress that one, you can do one-legged or one knee bent, one arm up front, and then sitting up. That one's really tough. Ooh, that one's too much. So quick break, 30 to 60 seconds, and then right back into the swings. Okay. And also sub the swings for the box jump. When performing the box jump, stand behind the box about 2 feet. Arms are behind the hips. Bend the knees slightly. Look at the box. Then we're going to swing the arms up. Nice soft landing in the same position you started. And this is going to be anywhere from 5 to 8 reps at the most. Box. Now, if you comment, let me know what type of videos or what set you want to see next. For this next set, we're gonna start with some underhand pull-ups. Then we're gonna move to some one-legged hip lifts or hip thrusts using the bench. And then we're gonna get into some pressing exercises. And then we're gonna get into a core exercise. We're gonna circuit this because we are running low. So for the shoulder elevated hip lift, just if you can, find a bench high enough where you can sit down and bring your shoulders on top of the bench, with your knees bent. From here, and extend the hips or squeeze the glutes. So we go from this hip being on the ground, or glutes on the ground, glutes in line, making that 90-degree angle there. Shoulders in line with the head, down, up, squeeze. Then try it with the toes up. And then one knee to chest. So actually, you can go to a chest fly. That's what we're gonna do. I actually don't like that exercise. I like the knee bent version a lot better. That's it. That's all I got.